Ever stare at your to-do list, that seemingly endless scroll of responsibilities, and feel like every single task is a monumental mountain to climb? You look at it and a wave of dread washes over you. It feels like an impossible challenge, doesn't it? Even the smallest, most mundane chore, like loading the dishwasher or answering a simple email, feels utterly impossible to even start. The energy just isn't there. You genuinely to be productive. You have goals, ambitions, things you're passionate about, but even just about work, or even engaging in hobbies you usually love, feels completely exhausting. Your brain feels foggy, and your body feels heavy. It's not just the normal tiredness you feel after a long, busy day. It's more than that. This is something deeper, something more profound than simple fatigue. It's a weariness that seems to seep into your bones. You wake up in the morning feeling just as drained, if not more so, than when you went to bed the night before. Sleep, which should be restorative, offers no relief. And the world, with its constant demands and expectations, just keeps demanding more of you, piling on the pressure. Your well of energy feels completely dry, like a desert stretching out inside you. There's nothing left to give, and every single new demand, every request, every obligation, feels like an unbearable weight pressing down on you. Many of us, especially those who grew up in the 90s, in an era of hustle culture and constant striving, know this feeling all too well. We've been conditioned to push ourselves to the limit. The guilt associated with not being able to keep up is relentless and crushing. We were raised to believe that hard work is the ultimate solution, the key to unlocking any problem. So when you simply push through the exhaustion, when your body and mind refuse to cooperate, it's incredibly easy to turn inward and blame yourself for your perceived failings. But this isn't about laziness, and it's definitely not about a lack of willpower or personal strength. That overwhelming exhaustion and the accompanying guilt you feel, it's all very, very real. You're not making it up, you're not exaggerating, and most importantly, you are absolutely not alone in this experience. It doesn't mean that you're inherently lazy or that you lack motivation or drive. There's actually a recognized name for what you're experiencing, a term that encapsulates this specific kind of exhaustion, and simply understanding and identifying it is the very first crucial step towards feeling lighter and regaining control of your life. So, let's talk about burnout, what it is, and how it manifests. Recognizing it, acknowledging its presence in your life, is the very beginning of real and lasting change. You're not broken, you're not flawed, you're simply burnt out. And that's a crucial distinction to make. And the good news is, you find your way back to a place of balance, energy, and joy. Burnout isn't laziness. Laziness is choosing not to act. Burnout is being unable to, no matter how much you want to. It's chronic exhaustion from prolonged stress. Your internal engine has sputtered out. A lazy person avoids the marathon. A burnt-out person trained too hard and collapsed before the start. Burnout is about depleted resources, not lack of effort. Labeling yourself lazy only adds shame and makes things worse. Recognizing burnout opens the door to compassion and real solutions. Rest, recovery, and reevaluation. If you're deeply exhausted and detached, it's not a character flaw. It's a human response to being overwhelmed. And the first step to healing is understanding that. Burnout often brings brain fog, a thick haze that slows your thoughts. Simple tasks become challenging, and concentration slips away. You might reread the same sentence, forget names, or misplace things. It's not about intelligence. Your brain is just overworked and needs rest. Decision-making feels overwhelming, even for small choices. This indecision can make you feel stuck, feeding the cycle of stress. Creativity and problem-solving suffer. The spark just isn't there. You're not permanently broken. Your mental reserves are just low. Your brain is signaling for a break. Clarity returns when you allow yourself to rest. Burnout drains your emotions as much as your energy. Emotional exhaustion leaves you feeling empty, unable to cope with daily stress. Empathy fades, irritability rises, and even joy feels out of reach. Hobbies and socializing become chores, not pleasures. Cynicism and detachment set in, making you feel isolated. Sometimes a sense of dread or anxiety about daily tasks takes over. This isn't just stress. It's your emotional system crying out for relief. Your capacity for joy shrinks because all your energy is spent just getting by. It's a sign you need to pause and replenish. Millennials and Gen Z, especially those born in the 90s, are uniquely vulnerable to burnout. We grew up between analog and digital worlds, told we could achieve anything, and faced sky-high expectations. Economic instability, student debt, and precarious jobs add to the pressure. The hustle culture and social media amplify the need to always be on. Hobbies become side hustles, and downtime feels shameful. Work-life boundaries blur with constant connectivity. Work follows us everywhere. Chronic low-grade stress becomes the norm. We were promised a bright future, but reality is relentless pressure. Burnout isn't a personal failure, it's a predictable outcome of these conditions. Recognizing this helps us understand we're not alone. In today's relentless culture where productivity is king and the hustle never stops, rest is often misconstrued as a luxury, an indulgence, or even a sign of weakness. It's as if taking a break is admitting defeat in the never-ending race. But the truth is, rest is not a luxury. It's a fundamental biological necessity, as vital to our survival and well-being as food, water, and air. It's not an optional extra, but a core requirement for optimal performance. Denying yourself adequate rest is akin to running a car on an empty fuel tank. You might get a little further on fumes, but eventually, the engine sputters and you break down, often at the most inconvenient moment. The consequences can range from decreased performance to complete system failure. True rest is more than just closing your eyes. It actively restores your mind and body, recharging your energy reserves and allowing for essential repair processes. And it's not just sleep that counts, but any activity that allows you to disconnect, de-stress, and recharge your batteries. This could be anything from reading a book to spending time in nature. All too often, guilt creeps in when we try to prioritize rest, whispering insidious doubts about our worth and productivity. But giving yourself permission to pause, to step back, and to truly rest is vital for long-term success and well-being. It's an act of self-compassion, not self-indulgence. Even elite athletes understand that rest is just as important as rigorous training. It's during these periods of recovery that muscles rebuild and strength increases. Similarly, our minds need the same opportunity to recover and consolidate information. Mental rest is crucial for cognitive function and emotional well-being. Pushing through burnout, ignoring the warning signs of fatigue, only deepens exhaustion and diminishes your capacity for effective work. Therefore, embrace rest not as a reward earned after relentless work, but as a fundamental need, an essential component of a healthy and productive life. It's not a sign of weakness, but an investment in your long-term health, your mental clarity, and your future success. Sustainable productivity isn't about maximizing output at all costs. It starts with honoring your personal limits, recognizing your need for rest, and creating a balanced lifestyle. Rest is not passive inactivity. It's an active process of healing, rejuvenation, and preparation for the challenges ahead. It's how you heal, grow, and ultimately come back stronger, more resilient, and more effective. Burnout makes your inner critic louder, telling you you're not enough. Practicing self-kindness is the antidote. Treat yourself as you would a struggling friend. Acknowledge your exhaustion without judgment. Replace harsh self-talk with gentle understanding. This is hard right now, and that's okay. Challenge negative thoughts. Ask if they're truly helpful or accurate. Reframe. Instead of "I'm useless," try "I'm drained and it's okay to rest." Be gentle with your expectations. Recovery isn't instant. Focus on small acts of self-care, like a cup of tea or a short walk. Each act of kindness rebuilds your inner resources. Burnout can feel isolating, but you're not alone. Reaching out for support is a sign of strength, not weakness. Talk to trusted friends or family who listen without judgment. Sometimes just sharing your feelings lightens the load. If needed, seek professional help. Therapists and counselors can offer tools and understanding. There's no shame in asking for help. It's an investment in your well-being. Whether it's a friend, a manager, or a therapist, reaching out is the first step to recovery. Connection and care are powerful antidotes to burnout's isolation. Recovery from burnout is a journey, a winding path that requires patience and self-compassion. It's not a straight line, but rather a series of small steps forward, sometimes with a few steps back. Embrace the process, knowing that each day brings you closer to a more balanced and fulfilling life. Remember to celebrate the small victories along the way, acknowledging your strength and resilience. Not a quick fix. It's a gradual process of rebuilding your energy, rediscovering your passions, and reconnecting with yourself. It takes time, patience, and a deep understanding of your own needs. Be kind to yourself during this process, allowing yourself the space and grace to heal, and a willingness to change old patterns. This might involve setting new boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and letting go of unrealistic expectations. It's about creating a sustainable lifestyle that supports your well-being. But there is hope, a light at the end of the tunnel, a promise of renewed energy and joy. The exhaustion you feel now isn't permanent. It's a temporary state, a signal that you need to make some changes in your life. Start with small steps. Baby steps are still steps forward. Prioritize rest, make it non-negotiable. Set boundaries, protect your time and energy, and rediscover joy in simple things. Find activities that bring you pleasure and relaxation, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Reflect on what led to your burnout. Understand the root causes of your exhaustion. Unrealistic expectations, both from yourself and others. Unsustainable work that drains your energy and leaves you feeling depleted, or neglecting your needs. Prioritize your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. This isn't about blame. It's not about dwelling on the past or assigning fault, but about learning and growing stronger. It's about using this experience as an opportunity to create a more fulfilling and sustainable life. Remember, you're not alone. There are others who understand what you're going through. Many are walking this path with you. Reach out to friends, family, or support groups for connection and understanding. You're not broken or lazy. You are not defined by your burnout. You're human in a demanding world. Acknowledge the pressures you face and give yourself credit for all that you do. Be gentle with yourself. Treat yourself with the same kindness and compassion you would offer a friend. Seek support. Don't hesitate to ask for help from professionals or loved ones. And trust that you can move beyond burnout. Believe in your ability to heal and create a more balanced life. You deserve to feel good again. You deserve to experience joy, peace, and fulfillment. And it's possible. With self-compassion, support, and a willingness to change, you can reclaim your life and thrive.